wasting my time, writing down points for the next fight. My train of thought always dies. I'm too exhausted to try. I think I'm gone insane. Nothing will ever change. The only dream I can lose is the one with you and Joe sleeping into. Take me for all that I had to give. My heart stopped beating right on time to leave you caught in my flatline. Am I losing my mind? Looking for a reason why you toss me aside, 'cause it helps you get by. Am I the enemy you hope that I could be? You take what you need and you make me believe you could get that from me. Take me for all that I had to give. My heart stopped beating right on time to leave you caught in my flatline. Leave you caught in my flatline. I can't be saved, not this time. I can't be saved, but you're just fine. I can't be saved from this flatline. Do you like what you see? Is there something wrong with me? Well, let's say I was sorry, but my heart does the talking. And if I'm still alive, by the time you find out why, well, you can come ask me why. And we'll walk down the flat line. Take me for all that I had to give. My heart stopped beating right on time to leave you caught in my flatline. Leave you caught in my flatline. I can't be saved, not this time. I can't be saved, but you're just fine. I can't be saved from this flatline. I can't be saved. I can't be saved. I can't be saved. I can't be saved. You don't belong. This place is dangerous. Here sinners come for strangers. There's still hope for fallen angels. I know I won't wanna see you go. I know you don't wanna tell me no. Do you wanna be in my cage? A press of my own till you stab me in the back. Does it make you mad when the heart wants what it can't have? Not to meet you on your next mistake. I'm a let down on the next heartbreak. Don't fall in love. I've had enough. You don't know who I am. I've got my reasons. I can't count them on one hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 night stand. One night stand. No need for names.
What's up? What's up? You guys like listening to my old stuff? Yes, I just made that thumbnail. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is not something I ever planned to do, but since Europe wants to be a butthead, here we are. So for anybody that isn't a VIP, just to catch you up, this is supposed to be a VIP only meeting, and we usually have these in Discord, but apparently Europe doesn't want to let Discord work for some reason, and so everybody in America was hearing me and seeing me. Everybody in Europe wasn't seeing me at all. It was a pain in the ass. So we moved it here. And yeah, so that means the people that I'm reviewing today are the VIPs only. I tried to make it as clear as possible in the thumbnail. I just whipped up the thumbnail. Feel free to stick around. The advice I usually give to people will work for you too, but I know most of you won't, because that's just people, if they don't get a chance to get selected, they don't stay. And that's it. It is what it is. I'm not going to force you to be here, but if you want to learn some shit, stick around. And I usually jump into, like, I edit some people's stuff and I make thumbnails and all sorts of shit, so it's a little bit different than what you've seen on this channel so far. All right, so the very first one, and by the way, for those that are in Europe that missed what I was saying, my air conditioner, I can't turn it off. Non-negotiable. So you might hear it in the background. It's way too hot here. It's like 102 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like 35 Celsius. Or some shit like that. 36 Celsius, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in Germany, so my Celsius meter is all off. Okay, let me go ahead and close some stuff here. The last couple things that I had open were, oh yeah, this thing I was complaining about. Some people really thought that I edited this, and that's why I made it like a point to say this isn't edited. Look, I'll just keep scrolling down, and it just keeps going and going and going. I mean, it is fucking crazy. Why not attack? Why not attack? Why not attack? So, anyway, yeah, that's, I found out who's responsible for that, by the way. I found the guru pushing that, like the new skeleton niche, which sucks, because I really liked him, but now I'm very disappointed. Fucking sucks, man, because he's good, too. He was, at least. But any guru that wants to say, hey, this niche is printing money, I'm like, I'm no longer a fan. Make me mad. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm lucky to have air conditioning here. Oh, it's 37? Holy crap. Yeah. Anyway, when I lived in Germany, the houses are stone, so like as long as you keep the doors and the windows shut, it kind of stays a little bit cool, maybe like 30. But yeah, there's no air conditioning in Germany either. And big pain. All right, and then the last thing I was going to tell people, if you join the VIP, I never intended to make this a plan to push things, but just so everybody knows, the VIP is what you're seeing right now. You get to talk to me 3 times a week. On Saturdays, we have Q&As. Wednesdays, we do long form. Mondays, we do short form. That's what this is. And then you get all these tools unlocked: Hook Bomb, Hook Maker, Hook Thief, Hook Raider, Hook Finder. You get the free downloads, but actually, even if you're not a VIP, you get this stuff too. If you just go to attention.tools, you can put in your email and then download the Omega script, Lockpick. You can get my book for free, whatever. And I like it when you join, because then you get to look at all this stuff, but it's locked, and it might convince you to join. Maybe. Really, I'm just trying to help people here. And then there's JonBot here, which is like all of my transcripts put into one robot that you can ask any question, and it would answer just like me, unless I've never answered the question. Then it doesn't answer. It's like, I don't know, because it's not ChatGPT. It can't just make shit up. It only has my data in it, so is what it is. Okay, so I bring this up because after today, the replay of this will be in the audit reviews, just like everything else. Then we've got Q&As. These are the Q&A replays. And then we've got the podcast, which is a private thing that I do for everybody. All right, so everybody's caught up. That's how to get it. Links in the description. Now, let's move on to the very first person, who was Chris. He doesn't use Discord a whole lot, so he had to send it outside, which I just need to bring it up again. Excuse me, 1 second. I don't know how to handle things when people don't use Discord. All right, here's the first one. Let me know if can you guys hear that? Just give me a yes or a yes or a no.
Wanted to sell his song.
I forgot that there's a little bit of a lag between me and you.
So he reject.
You should be hearing it, but I just want to triple check. Yes, okay, there we go. All right, here's the first one. This is Chris. in the Discord, he got added in such a weird way. I had to manually add him to our VIP chat. And so inside the Discord, just so everybody's caught up, there's this separate VIP area, and all of our links and announcements and stuff are in here. And he doesn't know how to use Discord very well. Oh, there he is. Hey, there he is. Okay. Well, hey, go to channel. I'm reviewing you now. But yeah, I had to manually add him because the way that he got added, it wasn't automatic. Okay, Chris, you are able to back this up whenever you want. I'm going to go ahead and get started though, all right? Hi, John. This is not about going viral. I'm learning editing in Blender. Can you tell me where I can improve? And should this type of short have music? Okay.
This guy wanted to sell his song.
Oh, he's here? Okay, cool. Chris... Maybe he is. I didn't see him. Yeah, hey, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Tuvas.
This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry.
Okay, so the first thing I gotta say, and I'm only jumping in now because I'll play the whole thing and then I'll just give you my entire recap of it.
This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry. He started writing his songs while working a car assembly line. With little spare time, he devised his own code to remember melodies for later. He borrowed $800 from his family at 6% interest and built his own studio. His first hit was Reet Petite and his biggest ABC. He was Berry Gordy and sold the label Tamla Motown 30 years later for $61 million. This guy wanted to sell his...
Okay, so before I jump in on the hook, let me just say that there's something called cognitive overload that we try to avoid when we do things like this. Cognitive overload are... Cognitive overload is really easy to hit when you add more than 2 facts into a story, or you're trying to teach about several different things in your short. And right now, all I can really remember is that he started his own record label or something like that. But there were so many, oh wait, he was a mechanic. I remember that too. And so that just goes to show that all the other stuff you put in there was stuff that I couldn't retain. And really, people are just gonna leave if you just dump a bunch of information on them. So instead, what I would do is I would keep your hook fairly simple to understand, and then you can talk about one thing that, like, his main goal, and then an obstacle that he had to overcome, and that's it, really. I know that there's a lot more to the story, but this could also be more than one short. Let me go back to the hook and see how I would say it, because the way that you said it didn't really make me curious, nor did I understand what you were actually saying.
This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry.
Okay, so you're saying a contrarian thing, but the way that you're saying it doesn't offer a whole lot of clarity. What I think you're trying to say is this guy wanted to be a successful musician, so he did what all musicians don't do, basically. So he went against the grain. And I understand that that's a great way to hook, but the way you said it didn't like register in my brain. This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry. So a word like rejected is kind of one of those things where if you wouldn't quite say it to a 4th grader, and if you wouldn't say it to a 4th grader, then don't put it in your short. Consider the people that are scrolling through the shorts, they're dumb, okay? Now, I'm not saying everybody that watches shorts are dumb. I'm saying that the brain is dumb when you're doing it, because all you're trying to do is just get dopamine after dopamine, and people aren't really ready to retain anything. They're not primed to understand anything beyond a 4th grade comprehension level. And so that's why I say if you simplify your language, it's easier to tell these stories, and then people like, oh, okay, I totally get it. And that's why if you go to the Hey John Scott channel, I don't know if you've seen it or not. Hey John Scott. This one right here. All of my animations are very, very simple with the way that I explain them. And so, honestly, I think the ones that pass like 10 million are the more simple. And this one didn't even get 1 million, and I remember it's not very simple the way I explained it, but the glued the cell phone to the ground, that's got 62 million, and it was very, very simple. This guy, nobody was buying this man's food, so he took out his iPhone and he glued it to the ground. And a 4th grader could absolutely understand the way that I said that. Whereas yours, it might just be a little convoluted in the way that it's pitched. Just try to simplify the hook a little bit more. Let me think about how I would say it. I understand why you said rejected, because there's not really a way to go about the recording industry. If you said something like, this guy really wanted to sell songs, so he did something no other musician did or has ever done. This guy really wanted to sell songs, so he did something no other musician has ever done. If you could even simplify that even more, that'd be better. But something along those lines, I know what I'm curious about. I'm curious about what this guy did differently than any other musician. And so I usually try to make people get a little bit more specific about their hook, but if you preface it with the music thing, I think people are going to understand it. 1 second here. I need to close my Discord. Okay. All right, let me get back through this.
This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry. He started writing his songs.
And so my first thought would be like, how can I make this relate to more people instead? Like, he wants to sell his songs, but that doesn't really connect with me very well. But if he wanted to make his dream come true, then yeah, I can connect with that. I've got a dream too, but you'd have to at least make it specific about music. So let me think on that.
Songs while working a car assembly line. With little spare time, he devised his own code.
In this situation, I would show him working on the cars. It seems like you went to pictures of a car and then this thing to be more lazy about the edit. And like, not intentionally, it's just that's how it feels. Whereas if you were showing the guy working on the vehicle, I think that gets the idea across a lot more. You have animated him before, so you could just animate him doing the work. Like, I imagine him behind the hood. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, here. Let me do it this way. Damn, you know what? I just realized I got the wrong thing drawn here. 1 moment. 3 and 6. Everything's gonna cut off for a second. Apply. Keep. Sorry. There. All right, now I can actually draw, make it make sense. So first we'll do that, and then let me. So let's say you've got, this is a short square. And then you've got him sitting at the court or whatever that was. And then you go to the next shot and it is, I imagine it's him. This is like his butt. He's bent over, working inside a car. That's like his shoulder. This is going to be a real bad drawing, but you get the idea. And then the car hood is up. And then it's something like this. I would probably center it a bit more, but there. There's a shoe. There's a shoe. Oh my god. Oh my god, it keeps getting worse. Okay, so right here, you are pushing in more and more towards this little area, his head, right? And so you've got, you could probably put it up or lower or whatever to make it easier to read your subtitles. But that's like one where he's like, he was working on a car assembly line, and then your next cut could be something along these lines where it's a sideways. Actually, you know what? You could probably do something along these lines to come in. And then he's working in here. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, actually, this shot would be better, in my opinion. Of course, I didn't give him any room for his head, but you get the idea. And you're pushing in, and then he leans out and pulls out a notebook and writes in it. Sorry, my mower just showed up. So something along those lines where it's pushing in and you can make it a little higher. That way, like, the point I'm trying to get across here is it doesn't need to be crazy edited. It could just be this pose right here, and then the camera pushes in closer and closer, and then he leans out, and then he writes in his notebook, and that's it. I would probably get a little bit more dynamic and show behind the notebook, like this, but it would be like a lower angle, something along those lines. And these are just the kinds of poses that I think about, and you don't have to move your camera to work around it. You can just do a hard cut, and then it changes. As long as the eyes stay in the same spot, that's it. So if I'm looking up here, and then it changes to this shot, as long as this is right, like where I'm looking is right in the same spot, that's all that matters. You don't have to use these exact ideas, but yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. The mower is super loud. So, let me just minimize that and bring yours back up.
Years later, verse 6. This guy wanted to sell his songs, so he rejected the recording industry. He started writing his songs while working a car assembly line.
Yeah, so right now I'm like, my eyes are right here. When you show 3 different cars, you're not really conveying the story exactly. This picture kind of does, if that's like where he worked, which I like. But yeah, it's just kind of showing, not telling. Make sure you're showing while you're telling.
He started writing his songs while working a car assembly line. With little spare time, he devised his own code to remember melodies for later. He borrowed a...
What's funny is I've done that code system. I didn't realize that was a way that other people remembered melodies, but the 3 2 1 3 5 5 5 3, it's kind of funny.
$100 from his family at 6% interest.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll say before I move on is just put a little bit more effort into the animation itself, because right now it seems like you started and you built up this expectation of this guy is going to do animation, and then you kind of backpedaled into just random pictures and stock footage. And I think that people are immediately going to leave right around 4 or 5 seconds when they realize that they're not going to get what you hooked them with. And so that's going to be a problem. You said, do I need music? If you want, but I wouldn't focus on it. I would try to make a couple without music first, just to see if that gives you a good vibe. I think adding music right now is just going to get in your way. And then on top of this, I just got to say your voiceover sounds fucking awesome. It is good, good, good. Love it. Great, great voiceover. Okay, let me move on to the next person, which is Tuvas.
This
Whoa! Hope I don't get demonetized. Actually, I don't make money off my lives anyway.
is not a firearm. Look, I get it. Empty chamber, empty magazine.
I like the personality. Let's see. I've had success with a couple game versus reality style shorts. Okay. Reloads versus real competition reloads. Okay, so games versus real. But I wanted to know if it's necessary to course correct away from gamer to actual firearm enthusiasts, or maybe I can consider gamers as potential future firearm enthusiasts who'd be inspired by my content. Okay, so this right here, wait. Oh, that's, okay, you confused me. So you're kind of, you started by making content that appealed to gamers, but now you don't want to do that. But you don't want to waste what you've done so far, right? Is that, am I picking that up correctly? Like, I already did so much work with this audience, I don't want to waste it. It doesn't, I don't see any gamer audience, so. Oh, okay, alright, I see. Alright, I'm gonna wait on your answer before I continue. New channel, Tuvas is the, okay. Let me, nope. You submitted the same damn channel twice. I'm just gonna look up your channel, I guess. Whoa, that's a cool looking thumbnail. Tube buddy. I was told I used the wrong link originally. Okay. Maybe, Oh, it's weird that you were told that. It's the exact same link, except you put www dot in there. I don't know. They're the same thing, though. It's fine. Okay, so I just wanted to take a look at the this one right here.
When I criticized Battlefield 6's reload animation, a lot of you came chiming in and told me.
Oh, dude. So the amount of curiosity here is huge because I'm wondering what happened, right? Like your content quality already sets me up to know that this is going to be worth it, and your voice. So that's like really, really good. I think it will help you to know like why this worked. Maybe.
When I criticized Battlefield 6's reload animation, a lot of you
immediately I'm like, what did he say about it? Like, I gotta understand what this, like, why? What happened? What's wrong with it?
Came chiming in and told me that there was another game that actually does reload animations way better.
I'm pretty sure the final does the final does
Hella social proof.
right. Go check it out. It's right. The reload animation is the only one that does. I remember correctly. The finals has the best finals reloads for the Model 1887 has godlike style.
Okay.
Whoa,
Now I'm
1887. Okay, hold on. I'll be back. And I'm back with the Cimarron.
Okay. All right. So yeah, for me, I'd probably bail, but I know a lot of people didn't, and honestly, it's enjoyable, so I wouldn't worry so much. So, you say Tuvas Gaming, where I found Game versus Real Fire. Okay. New channel for firearm content only, but you have done some gaming content on here. You're just wondering if you should just go strictly firearm, and so again. It's a little tough because you kind of have you've trapped yourself here, which sucks, man.
The finals, damn.
But not too bad. Okay, so all you got to do is try out different formats. Are you worried about losing momentum? If you are, then you need to stick with a format that works for like 3, and then every 4th one, experiment out. And do something. I mean, you clearly have talent. You're not going to waste a format. Like, you're going to do something that you know works for other people, and you're going to see if it works for you. So, I would honestly just keep experimenting. And, dude, you could even do it every other one if you want to. Like, if you really, really want to move away from the gamer stuff and still maintain momentum, then experiment every other format. Do a game one, something that you know works, and then do the other format. I don't know for sure if that's how you feel, if you feel like only game stuff works. But I gotta say, you haven't had much traction beyond these two. So you're not too trapped, actually. Not as bad as I thought, because I didn't see that these were only 11K.
Yo, the quad reload. Dude, Resident Evil setting a new standard, so...
So, have you considered doing movies? Stuff about movies? I'm just curious if any of this stuff... It's hard to tell from your thumbnails. I don't really know what to expect. Bigger concern is that the YouTube AI filtering my videos out. The latest. Let's take a look at the latest.
This is not a firearm. Look, I get it. Empty chamber, empty magazine, just to show it's clear, but as far as the ATF is concerned...
Okay, so I don't think you're being filtered at all. First, I gotta say that this is not... It's not very interesting to me, not as much as your other stuff. Now, this could just be because you've pivoted, right? Only people that are interested in firearms are gonna be interested in what this is. If you said this is not a gun or something like that, maybe it would have connected with just a little bit more. But because you said firearm, you're micro-niching into people that are very serious about this. And so I think you just pivoted into a point where it's like only certain people are going to enjoy this. So I don't think you're being restricted unless you're being told this is 18 plus.
This is a firearm, and yes, it's kind of bullshit, but in a good way. See, this is the COG, or Central...
Like, if you started with that and you said, would you believe this is a gun? Then I'd be like, okay, now I'm interested. Because from my perspective, I know what a gun looks like, and that doesn't look like one. So you started with a contrarian hook immediately. But because you started with this instead, I don't know, it's just not as strong to me.
This is the COG, or Central Operating Group of the Springfield Armory Echelon, making it a...
And then I'd leave at this point, because I'm not interested. But, like I said, I'm not your audience. So, I gotta... shit, dude, this is a minute long of technical stuff. So, you might just be stuck for a second while you find your new audience. But, like I said, if YouTube has said that you're getting restricted, then you're getting restricted. Have you, turned on restricted mode and then like you see this right here, it's like restricted. Oh, actually I can do it right now. It is restricted. Yep. That sucks, dude. So let me see what else isn't, because you started immediately. This is all about guns. Yeah, all of your stuff is restricted. So how, so that hasn't gotten in the way, right? Because one of those hit millions of views. So if you're only making restricted content, but we just found out it doesn't fucking matter that it exists because nothing is here. All of your stuff is restricted because it's about a gun. And so that's all that YouTube does. If it didn't make it 18 plus, that's all it does, is it restricts it, making sure that anybody that has the restricted mode thing turned on or children don't see it. So that's it. I mean, I still don't think that that's that bad of a limit. I think that it's just an audience issue. This one especially might not be interesting to a lot of people, but let me take a look at this one. Unless you were restricted only recently. Well, is your other stuff restricted? Let's take a look. Like, I'm only looking at this because I want you to take a look and see if these are still getting views, okay? $5.9 million views. Go and, or is it per video, not per channel? It's per video. It's definitely per video. Because some of these were probably restricted and some of them aren't. Oops. Yeah, I'm sure this channel looks so much more different with restricted mode on. And now I'm gonna turn it back off. Yeah, a lot of these got restricted. But they still got views, right? They're still getting views. Yeah, I don't necessarily know if it's gonna hurt or not. To be honest, I haven't had a lot of experience with that. I don't know for sure.
When I criticized Battlefield 6's reload animation, a lot of you came chiming in.
When you started this, it's obviously about games, so I could see how it would have a tough time restricting this. To be honest, the way that you held it almost looks like a game, so...
And told me that...
I don't know. Whatever you want to do with this information, take it and run with it. What I would do... Shit. It's tough because you're wanting to pivot to the thing that doesn't get as many views. And so you could, like I tell all my coaching clients, if you're wanting to pivot, do the every other or every 3 experiment with things. That way you continue having momentum. But yeah, just yeah, it did. Yeah, it looked like a game. Yep. Okay. You originally created it to target firearm gun enthusiasts looking to get the best quality to dollar ratio on purchasing decisions. Well, none of these seem like reviews to me. But then again, if I were gonna, I wouldn't be looking for that kind of shit in shorts. I'd be looking for long form if I'm looking for a review on a weapon I'm about to buy. I found success doing the game to real life. Considering I stumbled on a niche that's gotten a lot of views, should I completely focus? Okay, so full transparency, if you want to make like shorts money, then I would focus on what you know works, like if you're interested in that. But I mean that means that Tuvas would be your gun to game kind of thing, and then the budget division would be a long form review affiliate cash cow. I'm like, this is a way that you could do it. I don't really know how these things work, but I see that you wrote business inquiries in your thing, and so it seems like you want to turn this into a business. I don't necessarily think that shorts are the way to go when it comes to firearms, but I don't know that for sure. I'd have to do a little bit more research. Like if you hired me as a coach, I would know all the answers, but because this is like a live situation, I don't. But yeah, so what I would do as a coach or in your situation is I would start digging through all the competition and seeing what they're doing shorts wise, how they're pitching it. Are they using the little affiliate things in the shorts? I know that those get like a little bit of money, but I would mostly focus on the same strategy as the Maytag guy. And the Maytag guy, he makes bank, and all he does is basically for Maytag what you could be for Remington or Winchester or whatever. And yeah, he goes through basically the same way that you would with a weapon, and people watch his stuff and then they use his links, and he gets sponsors on top of that, and like he just becomes this huge business guy. One thing I like about him is he dresses the part. Halfway, I listened to an interview with him with Jay Klaus, and he didn't used to dress the part, but when he switched to dressing the part, that's when things really started blowing up. So I don't know if there's a version of that for you. Anyway. Yeah, okay. So the last point here, YouTube is a minefield regarding firearms. Go to YouTube. It's zero tolerance for direct links. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to do direct links then, right? You could do sponsorships, or are you saying to planes to buy? Oh, okay, interesting. Man, there's so much I'd like to know, but I just don't have the time, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, damn, that is interesting. I should look into that niche at some point just to see what really works for long form. But there's always the option of, hey, there's a lot of things I can't say on YouTube, but you can check out my videos here, and then you have your own website, kind of like how Corridor Crew does with their thing. Explore With Us does. They have their own TV app. I forget what it's called. Ewu TV app. Ewu Plus, yeah. And so they have their own, like, they do body cam footage and stuff like that. And there's a lot that you can't show on YouTube, and you can't say certain words that are, like, so ridiculous you can't say. But, yeah. And so everybody's kind of starting their own thing. And that's kind of what we're doing here with the VIPs is on Attention OS. We've got our replays. And though I have them linked to a channel, I don't need to. I can upload them directly to the website, and you guys would still watch them, and I wouldn't need it. Like, I don't need YouTube for that. So anyway, it's just something to consider. I see a lot of people doing it. Once I saw Corridor Crew do it, I knew, like, the Try Guys tried, but once I saw Corridor do it, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a thing. So yeah. Am I allowed to say how much direct coaching is? Okay, so it's $9.97 for an hour. I take a lot of time to build up the info for you, but that is just kind of a one-time thing, and so it really depends on what you need, but that's my base price, I'll just say that. You can go to viral.coach and book it if you want, and we can talk more, or you can just say, hey, let me wait, and then we can talk on the phone, and we can kind of get a plan together instead.
So I'm pretty.
Okay, so I gotta move on to the next person, but yeah, hit me up. Let's see, the next person is... Cat Mom, and Cat Mom brought in, actually, yeah, Cat Mom sent something to edit, so let's bring up Premiere. Banana, banana. Come on. Adobe takes forever to load anything. There we go. All right. So, Cat Mom, you said I submitted under a different email, so my name doesn't show up. I've got it to where I redact the names anyway. So it's not as much of an issue. But I only had to redact a couple. So it's weird when I see your guys' real names. I'm like, I don't even know who that person is. Okay, so we'll bring this over here, like I normally do, so you can see it tall. And let's give it a shot. See what we've got first.
I tried a cat cooling hack to solve the heat problem.
Whoa! Wow, that's loud. Got some spikes there for sure. Hold on, I'm gonna turn that down just a tiny bit. So it's not blowing my eardrums.
I tried a cat cooling hack to solve the heat problem. Denmark is setting a new temperature record today, so I made them a cooling bed. Well, apparently, they still share the same brain cell. Zagel is doing a little better, but Thor refused to come inside until we literally carried him in. So we moved to plan B, the basement. The coolest place we could all agree on. Oh my god, Thor, seriously?
Okay. So when well, let me see what you said. I love the feedback on the hook. Does it make you want to keep watching? Does the storytelling flow well? So yeah, for like a long form, it does. When I think of a short, I think, okay, I tried to, it's so hot in Denmark, I tried to build my cats a cooling bed. Let's see if it works, or let's see how it works. And then you show how it works, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's the end. So like, it's one concept, and people get it. But your story kept changing and like evolving, and that's how stories work. But it's just, I don't necessarily know how many people are primed for that kind of journey. I'm saying this because that's what I'm used to. But I will say I enjoyed the entire story, and some people might be primed to want to watch this, especially if you have your returning viewers. So I probably wouldn't change much about this one in particular. Let me watch it one more time.
I tried a cat cooling hack to solve the heat problem.
So when that happens, I tried the cat cooling hack to solve the heat problem. I don't really understand what that means. I tried the cat cooling hack. I mean, I guess you're kind of curious what that's supposed to be, but I also don't know what the heat problem is either until you say something. And so I would say that hook it just misleads me more than anything, whereas right after it, you actually hook.
Denmark is setting a new temperature record today, so I made them a cooling bed.
Except I would say I made my cats a cooling bed. I made my cats a homemade cooling bed or something along those lines. So this whole start just kind of misleads me a little bit. I just don't understand it. And then as you're in the middle of the sentence, you change the visual so abruptly that it distracts me from what you were saying, which is this part right here. And so now I'm looking at whatever the blue is, and I didn't hear what you were saying. And so, like, this is not really something that you could have known ahead of time. This is just something that you learn as we continue to create. And so that whole part I would just cut out and start right here.
Denmark is setting a new temperature record today, so I made them a cooling bed.
Yeah, except I would say my cats.
Well, apparently, they still share this.
And then when I would show Denmark is setting a new hot record or something along those lines, I would show my cats.
Denmark is
Because, like,
Denmark is setting a new temperature record.
yeah, and I like the... Sorry, I would start something like that.
Denmark is setting a new temperature record today, so I made them a cooling bed.
Except, I'm just trying to show you what footage I would show. So, Denmark is setting a new...
Denmark is setting a new temperature record today.
A new temperature record today. Today is the hottest day in Denmark. Like, that's how I would say it. It's just so simple. But the way that it's... Like, I think that there's probably a language barrier going on here. Because sometimes the stuff that you write is a very articulate and complicated way of saying something. And I just think that it's because of the language barrier. It is... Denmark... Today is the hottest day in Denmark this year. Or something like that. There. Today is the hottest day in Denmark this year. So I made my cats a homemade cooling bed. Let's see how they like it. That would be the short. And then you, or you could say, so I made something special for my cats to keep them cool. And then you go to the part where you're like taking it apart and you're making a bed. And then you put it, and then you watch them do the rest of the skit, whatever it is. And kind of like the last one where you were trying a different tool or toy, but yeah. And so that's what I would do. Personally, that's what I would do. But I wouldn't change this because I would like to see how this performs, to be honest with you. Like, if you have fallen into more of... Okay, when you first started, you asked me, how can I do vlogs as shorts? This is how. This is what you're doing. This is why I say it's difficult to get the average shorts viewer into a vlog, because they have to be primed for it. They have to, like, be invested in it. But, like I said, your audience might be the type of viewer that is invested. They love your posts, and you're getting all this information from me, and I'm, like, changing things about you. Why not try this? Just see how it works. Maybe your viewers will respond to you more than me. And so I would try this, to be honest with you. It's good as a vlog. And so I said, well, I mean, it works for long form. In my experience, it's kind of a long story. Like, there's a lot of stuff to the story for a short. And I know it doesn't seem that way, but for a short, you know how it is. So I would try this, to be honest with you. Yeah, and the way that you say it, like, the problem with shorts is people aren't patient whatsoever. And so if you say something in a roundabout way or a more articulate way, a lot of dumb people aren't going to be patient for that. A lot of people that want an immediate story and they already want the punchline, like, that's what they're looking for. Hell, there is a new trend right now where people just show the punchline first and then they rewind to the start of the short and then they play it again. And it's not like the preview thing that we used to do with hooks. No, it's just they show the ending right up front and then they play the whole thing again. It's like people have no attention span. They can't even stay through a short now. They need to know the punchline before they watch the short. It's fucking ridiculous. And so it makes me unhappy as a creator. But anyway, yeah, those are the people you're dealing with. And so you're making good content and it's got a great vibe and it achieves every single thing that I think you want to achieve. I want to see if this works. Give this a shot and then see what people say. Maybe people really do fall in love with this format. And if they do, then I won't fuck with it anymore. I wouldn't even ask me for advice anymore if it really works. because if that works, then I've been misleading you, and I owe you a refund. But I really do like it. I'm gonna watch it one more time. And then mix wise, just lower that volume here. You could see that it was like super spiked and loud, and so that's just something that you wanna, if you can, like I don't know what you use to cut, but the volume of you being inside the freezer, just lower that a little bit.
I tried a cap cooling hack to solve the heat problem. Denmark is setting a new temperature record today, so I made them a cooling pad. Well, apparently, they still share the same brain cell.
Yeah, I would. When you say the heat problem, it's like, what's the heat problem? I have to. If you should probably convey that for me, rather than have me ask, because I don't know if it has anything to do with the cats or your, you know what I mean? Like, if you could say that in a way that tells me everything that I need to know, it's probably better. But I don't have anything else for this one, to be honest with you. I like it though. I do. Swiss cheese, also editing to drop you in. Swiss Miss.
All right.
Oh shit, it's so loud. It's not your guys' fault, it's just I have things blasting.
All right. We officially 100% The Simpsons hit and run. Let's see what the reward.
Sorry. There we go.
All right. We officially 100% The Simpsons hit and run. Let's see. Alright. We officially.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my comments till the end.
All right. We officially 100% The Simpsons hit and run. Let's see what the reward is for getting all the cards. Talk to the squeaky voice teen at the Aztec Theater. Okay. Here he is. Alright. Oh, it's an Itchy and Scratchy episode. No way. Oh, he's taking steroids! Wait, did he inject him into Scratchy? What the fuck? I can't believe I've never seen this before.
Okay, so the sooner you can get to the part that people really want to watch, the better. I know that you're trying to walk the line of transformative. I get why you did what you did, but I think that your reactions are fine enough. Okay, people like you set it up with a story of how you got to the Itchy and Scratchy Easter egg, but I wouldn't. I'd just be there and be like, what is this? And then hidden Simpsons hit and run Easter egg or something like that. What is it at the beginning? Yeah, hold on. Let me grab that real quick. I'll show you exactly how I do it now that I can. I gotta say I admire why you did what you did though. I totally get it. And then another reason that I'm doing this is holy fucking text, dude. What is with all the text at the beginning? There's so much to fucking read, I don't know what to look at. And that means disappointment. Alright, just remove the crop here.
Okay. Here he is.
Okay, I think that could probably be the start, but let's see here. Nope. Too much text. Like, even this right here is too much, because you want people to read your text hook, not this part, not the squeaky voice part. And that is the problem with the entire beginning. It's like, okay, I'm not sure what to read. I'm seeing your subtitles, which is okay sometimes if you're not saying a whole lot, because they're battling with the text hook. But I also have to read Talk to the Comic Book Guy, and then I have to read this, and I see action behind it, and it's like, it's too overwhelming for my brain, right? Now it's enter, skip, and so these are things that I would just avoid if you can. Another way that I would go about this, and this is the more messy way, but I'll show you real quick. Let me think here. No, not sequence. This is just for anybody that has text on screen that can't do anything about it. It has to be there. Ba-da-ba-bum-bum. Ba-do-do-do-do. Then I will. What the ass? One second. Things are gonna be fucky. Encoding overloaded. Oh no. Okay. Okay, things are back. Once I get to the, I'll just do crop instead. Once I get to, oh damn it. Can't do that either. Okay. I have to do something where I'm not masking, because if I actually use the mask, then it overloads my shit. One second. So I'll just use crop. So you know how people kind of hide the other people's watermarks when they're stealing content? You can do that for text. I would probably do something like that, but also sometimes what I'll do is I'll just mirror it instead. This is like a kind of a lazy way, and you could feather it out a little bit, something like that. Because now I'm not reading it, but it is a pretty big distraction, and so typically I would do whatever I could to crop in instead. So I'd probably remove that entire bottom, and then I would do a crop down, something along these lines, and that way that's the bottom that you would see instead. Something like that. If it was there too long, right? It wouldn't look as bad if you did it ahead of time, because then you have the text as the right size. But always look for all the shit that people are going to have to read before you get to your content. Like all that stuff, just try to get rid of it as much as you can. The mirror thing in Premiere is just, if you look up the word mirror, then you can set the anchor point, and then it mirrors whatever is up here, down here, or over here. And so it kind of creates a blur, but it blends in a lot more. And so actually, I'll show you what a mirror does. This is a really good example, actually. So you have this right here, this black bar at the bottom. What a mirror can do is I'll stick it right there, and then I'll change the angle. And now you don't have to worry about the black bar anymore, because it reflected whatever the footage is. Of course, it's bad when it says enter, skip, or whatever. But when you do something like that, and then you blur the mirror, it's, oops. Yeah, well, you get the idea. When you blur the mirror, then you don't have to worry about it looking super sharp and being super distracting. Anyway, I don't want to do any more masking because than I have to do, because it'll fucking shut down the stream. Either way, none of that matters. I think you get the point like 10 hours ago when I was explaining it. Now let's just go here. I like to start with that sound. It's almost like starting with a cop siren. Yep. Starting like that, it makes me feel like I'm right into the action. And I would leave "here he is" out of the subtitles because it's very easy to understand. And also, it didn't matter if you said it or not. And so that gives people just enough time to read secret Easter egg in Simpsons Hit and Run, right? And if I were you, I would probably make it like this just to cheat out that action thing.
Here he is.
It's not distracting at all because you can't see it. And then I would fade this along with that or just make it cut out.
All right. Oh, it's an Itchy and Strategy episode.
Your reaction took a little bit of time to get to. You could either back you up a little bit to where your reaction happens faster, or you could just cut ahead in the footage to something like that.
Oh, it's an Itchy and Strategy episode.
Yeah, something like that. So when they are able to register what they see, that's when you register at the same time. And it kind of puts you along with the viewer, like you're both along for the ride. And then the rest of it, I'd leave as it was. I think it's really funny. If you are uncomfortable with the length, 57 seconds, you could probably cut out little parts of it that don't pertain to the story. But yeah, that's what I'd do, man. Patch replacer, yeah. Resolve is way better about the stuff than this is. I forgot what you used. Yeah, Resolve has patch replacer. That shit is the bomb. Okay, and then let's move on to the next person. Platinum LG. More of a tutorial style video, as many of my viewers asked for one. I used Hook Bomb to create the hook. Thoughts about the pacing? Okay, let's see what Hook Bomb did for you. For everybody that's wondering, if anybody's here that's not a VIP, Hook Bomb is a tool that the VIPs get access to along with 4 other tools in Attention OS Pro. Oh, actually, it's way more. You get JonBot, you get the 3D Masterclass. I didn't even say that earlier, but that's like one of the big sellers. And of course, you get replays to all of these things, including the Q&As and audits and reviews and all that stuff. You'd be all caught up with everybody else if you just joined today. It's $1 million. Okay, let's move on. Oh, links in the description. That was pretty important to say. There's no audio here. There we go. All right, let's hear what hook you used.
There's one trap you should never build, and you might think it's because it sucks and doesn't work, but no, it's because it...
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I know that hook. All right.
There's one trap you should never build, and you might think it's because it sucks and doesn't work, but no.
This only works if people build a shit ton of traps. And so if that's the case, then I think it's a great hook. But if there are if people build so many traps that there are bad traps and good traps, then you've made a good hook here.
No, it's because it literally gets you way too much loot. The best part is you barely even need to move to get kills, and even the smartest players fall for it. It's
Holy shit, this is fucking fire.
so easy, you only need these items.
That's kind of... Wait, hold on. Is it too zoomed in? Yeah, sorry, my bad. Try it again.
There's one trap you should never
Oh man, even the start is so good.
build, and you might think it's because it sucks and doesn't work, but no. It's because it literally gets you way too much loot. The best part is you barely even need to move to
Dude, from the last one you did to this one, holy crap. Like, I feel everything is on screen long enough for me to register it. I love it. This is awesome.
get kills, and even the smartest players fall for it. It's so easy, you only need these items. First, dig 3 blocks down and clear out a 3x3 area. On the left, dig out these.
Just imagine that I'm not a Minecraft player, but I'm still as interested. If there's a way that you could like shine like a tiny little bit of highlight on all the items, that could help. Like, I'm still kind of looking right here, but honestly, it's not even that big of a deal. That's just something that I would prefer. Yeah, honestly, don't even worry about it. I just, when I'm like, what items, right?
Fall for it. It's so easy, you only need these items. First, dig.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Ignore that. It's just me being picky.
3 blocks down and clear out a 3x3 area. On the left, dig out these blocks. Place a torch and 2 pistons, and do the same on the right side.
God damn.
Dig behind the pistons and place redstone on top. On the left, dig around the pistons, but on the last block, dig one down and place redstone. Now cover both sides back up and you'll hear the pistons activate. Right under the entrance hole, dig 3 blocks down and clear the area like this. Dig 3 blocks deep here. And remove these 4 blocks.
Oh god, it's long, dude. If people that are in for the long haul, but your drop off point is gonna be.
Now cover both sides back up and you'll hear the pistons activate.
Right here, the trap should be done for somebody that's not interested, right? But there's so much more to do. So if you're gonna have a drop off point, it's right here. How long is that? And then how long is this? 32 seconds, okay? So if there's a drop-off point, that's where it is. The whole thing is 1:38. I gotta say, this is gonna go viral. I just don't, I wanna make sure that it goes as viral as it should.
Right under the entrance hole, dig 3 blocks down and clear the area like this. Dig 3 blocks deep here. And remove these 4 blocks.
Like, it's a tutorial. It's not like you can just remove instructions to make it a better viral video, so it's tough. It's gonna do well. It's gonna do very well. God, it starts with a viral format, but then it goes into tutorial, which is almost shit, man. I feel like it would go viral as a long form. Fuck it, I would make a long form version of this too.
Come over here and dig this to connect the redstone. Dig this 2x3 area to the left.
I still think it'll do so well though.
Place 2 repeaters, one on 2 tick and the other on 4 tick. Clear this area out for the pistons. Now place 2 pistons here, place furnaces here, and dig 1 block lower. Now add the slime blocks. At the top, place a lever and it should open up. Now make a simple funnel like this, and same on the left. Dig 2 blocks down and make the funnels like this. Now place the banners here, here, and here. Now dig around 25 blocks down, and remember to place banners. At the top, dig 2 blocks diagonal behind the lever. This is where you'll go down. Remember to place the water so you can swim. Place 2 banners here, and finally the dripstone. Now just head back to the surface and remove the lever. Now just place a pressure plate in the corner, and anyone standing inside will fall to their death.
Okay, so think about the people that are in the shorts feed. What are they doing? Scroll, scroll, scroll. So they might be searching for a tutorial, and you might get a lot of search traffic on this, but I can't imagine. I'm gonna do a lot of pausing and playing, right? And so this is like long form territory where I'm moving the little thing around, and so it's more like this where I'm trying to find the right spot and all that stuff. And so if it was a 30-second tutorial, it would be no problem. But since it's such a longer tutorial, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. What did you say here? Do you have any thoughts on how I can transition it from the hook to the tutorial in short? No, I think you did fine. I think the transition is fine. Everything up to 30 seconds is gold. It's just, it's such a difficult, you can't do it any other way. Honestly, it's perfect. It's a perfect tutorial. It's a perfect short tutorial, but I just worry about the viewers. Honestly, the best thing you could do, oh, sorry, 1 second. You guys can still hear me though, right? Yeah, there we go. The best thing that you could do is put it out there and see how it does. And if it performs poorly, then make it long form. And even if you've got to just use the same video but toss it in long form, I think that's great. It sucks, man, because it's such a good video and it starts so strong. I wish it were less complicated of a tutorial, you know? That's it. I wouldn't change anything because obviously I can't, right? Otherwise, you're not teaching the thing anymore. But God, what a strong start. Dude, get this out, but like make another one with this hook because everything about it is just screaming millions.
Dig 3 blocks down and clear out a 3x3 area. On the left,
can you do can you teach something that's super duper short, super easy, but use this same format? Because I think it'll do super well. And then you could actually compare them back to back and see which one performed better. I think the simpler one always will, but yeah. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have anything to offer now. Would it work if I shorten the tutorial in the short and have the full tutorial in long form? I personally don't think so. I think when people try to move people off the shorts feed, it fails. You'll get 1% of people that will do it on their own. But when people say the full thing is over here, people don't fucking care. They're like, I'm in the shorts feed for a reason because I want to be here. So, yeah, that's why I think it's probably not the greatest idea. That fucking threw me all off. I always say if people like the best two niches are podcasting and live streaming. That you can do clips of, and then more people will choose to go and watch a longer version. But yeah. And honestly, if you do this and you have a long form version, put it in the link. I just wouldn't waste time pushing people to it. If you told a story about the trap and then you have a how to build it, you could probably add that. Like, if you want to learn how I made it, the link is in the description or whatever. I guess you could do it, but make sure to say it super duper fast. I only warn against it because people, they waste so much time trying to push people to long form, and all that time is against you because people drop off constantly, and the longer that is, the more YouTube is like, wow, this guy fucking sucks. So, yeah. Just keep it in mind.
Please let me talk.
Okay, we got Ruby. Ruby is up next. Ba-da-ba. It's so weird seeing the amount of chats that isn't here because it's all only VIP now. I got a question. Yeah, you know what? We can do Q&A at the end of this too. I got 30 million views the past 30 days. Went pretty viral. Now it dropped to 100K a day. Is it normal behavior? It depends. I mean, if you're in a super saturated niche, you're going to be struggling a lot. Since your name is Roblox, I think you probably are. It's pretty up and down for channels like that. But some people, you got to understand, some people will ask me that question too, and they're stealing clips, and they're making AI bullshit. And it's like, I can't answer it until I can dissect it. You know, if I can dissect your channel, then I'll know more. But that type of question, I have to be generally vague about it, unfortunately.
Please let me talk to you.
Okay, Ruby. Trying more for the general tech, trying more from the general tech comedy angle, keeping things simpler. Okay, let's take a look.
Please let me talk to a human. That's a.
Let me start it over.
Please let me talk to a human. That's a great idea. You want to book a flight to Oman, is that correct? No, human. H-U-M-A-N. You are absolutely right. Great catch. You want to book a flight to Huna. Mother effing human. I understand your frustration. Searching flights to Houston. Please let me talk.
Okay, I don't have much to say about it. It's funny. I think it might be a skit that's played out a lot. And so it's not the most original thing I've seen come from you. And so if people are watching you for a specific reason and then they see this and it doesn't connect to them as much, just know that they want you for you, whatever you were doing before. And this more general thing might not appeal to them. Like in theory, it should appeal to a lot more people, but the idea of the joke was done after the first interaction. When you kept doing it, it's like people are dropping off left and right because it is what it is, you know. That's not to say it's bad at all, because it's not bad. It's just these are the reasons why people will drop. Add how to prompt inject at the end. You're gonna join next month? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, just so you know what to expect, every Monday you're dealing with me, we talk one-on-one. Well, we don't talk one-on-one until Saturdays. Saturdays, you can talk directly to me. Everybody gets a chance to ask questions. It's like not so saturated that I am able to talk to everybody, which is really, really cool. And yeah, Mondays you get this. Wednesdays it's all long form and thumbnail help. And then Saturdays we do Q&A, and that happens 4 times a month. 4 times every week. Every week it's the same thing. And then on top you get all the tools for attention.tools. But just as a reminder, for those of you that aren't VIP, there's still a bunch of free shit you can get on attention.tools. Just put in your email and then it'll send you a link to click. And if you click downloads, you'll see it here. Actually, what it'll look like is this. Everything else will be blocked off, but you'll see the downloads and it'll still be there for you to download whatever you want. And I recommend getting the overlay pack. This helps a lot when it comes to me teaching people where the viewer needs to be looking. And then if you're a live streamer, there's a bonus game clip overlays in there. And then the book is this right here, Sound Like a Smart Creator. It's a book I wrote, which I love. Hey, there's me. I actually drew a picture of me saying the word gravy a lot. Although at the time, I guess I didn't have glasses. Anyway, yeah, that's this book, but the digital version, because I can't send you the physical copy without losing a bunch of money. All right, so yeah, now you know what the deal is. That was a nice little segue that I could use to promote the VIP. Honesty is the best policy. Okay, this short on my tech channel got barely any views. Do you think I did something wrong or just got unlucky with YouTube not pushing it? I might have also submitted this to the old form. Sorry if it shows up twice. It's all right. The old form is nothing. It's nothing to me now. Okay, let's take a look. 1 sec. Let me back it up because I know timing is smashing the worst controller ever.
I grabbed this tiny controller.
Okay, the start, I think a lot of people would drop off after 1 or 2 seconds because it seemed to take a while to get to it. I would start like mid pullback instead of like starting right here. Start mid pullback, and then what I would do in this situation is I'd let it get so close, and then I would let the sound effect play, right? Maybe add like a little shake or something, like a boom, and so the sound effect plays as your camera switches to you. So they don't see it, but they hear it. It's a little trick that I use.
I got this tiny controller off Amazon, and it might be one of the worst things I've ever held. Here's why. The controller is so small, so with my hands, 2 of my fingers are just hanging out in the air with nowhere to hold on to. Also, the controller will randomly lag with inputs becoming delayed, which gets super annoying while playing. Speaking of controls, the sticks on the controller are short, so if you're expecting to be precise, you can throw that expectation away.
Why did you say speaking of controls?
But what's even worse is
The whole time you're talking about a controller.
buttons are in the layout. There's no option to buy one with the Xbox layout, but the one good thing about this is that Amazon decided to randomly refund me for the controller.
That's funny.
Due to my address being undeliverable, but I obviously have it, meaning I now own a bad controller for technically free. Have you ever had Amazon randomly refund you for something? If they did, let me know what it was in the comments.
First try.
Okay, so people have dropped off now, but there's 10 more seconds. Oh, damn.
Awful controller.
Shit. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you could go about this. One would to be showing it at the beginning and then explaining why. But you explain why in a matter of 10 to 15 seconds, and that's it. That's the entire short. And so you start it by exploding it, and I'm only saying this, like, I know that that's the reveal that you want to hold back, but I'm seeing a lot of people reveal first, and then people wonder why, and so the curiosity is baked into the action that happened at the beginning. I cannot stress this enough. I don't know which one is better right now. Typically, I would hold it back. But I'm seeing, like I just explained a couple minutes ago, I'm seeing on TikTok a lot more of people needing to know it's worth it first before they watch. And that could come with a lack of trust. It could come with a lot of different reasons. But if you show it exploding, and I would use that one shot where it like really went, That would be the first thing I'd show. And if you didn't get a good shot of it, hold on. Yeah, so I would show this shot first, right? Like you show you setting down the controller, and then it goes to the wide shot. Boom! That's at second number 2. Between 2 and 3, probably second number 2. And boom! And then you go to, so Amazon brought me this whatever, and you go into the controller. Now, when you explain why you did it, yeah, explain it in like 10 seconds, and you don't need any segues. Like, speaking of controls or anything, you're a good writer. You're working on the writing, which I admire, but the whole topic is the same, so you didn't really need a segue. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would just, actually, you know what? Hold on. How many? Oh, shit. Okay. I was going to say I'd cut it up to try to see what we got. But next time when you upload, can you make sure to upload your short along with the form? And that way I'll have a chance to kind of cut it up for you and show you exactly what I would do if your next short needs it. I think that would be super helpful. But yeah, I like that, man. I think that it exploding at the beginning would just keep people at least another 10 seconds to wonder why you did it. But yeah, this being a minute long, even if you put everything in the right order, I still don't think it's a minute long short. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Wait, that's not your name, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So to answer your question of why it barely got any views, so I think that could have kept some people, but let's see.
So this tiny controller off Amazon, and it might be one of the worst things I've ever held. Here's why. The controller is so small, so with my hands...
Okay, I would drop off now, and the reason why is because I can clearly see it's a piece of shit, right? Like, when you showed it in your hands, I'm like, oh my god, those things are fucking shitty, and so... I would try to figure out how to make this more interesting. Like, I would say, but it has a secret feature that I didn't expect. And then now people have to stick around for that secret feature. Guys, take that piece of advice and apply it to all of your content. There's always something to make them curious about. Find it, and then mention it, and then reveal that at the end, okay? Cool. And if the thing is, it's got this special feature, it can break really easy, then like it becomes a joke if that's what you want to do, okay? It's got this special feature, it breaks when you hit it with an axe. Okay, let me take off the music. Okay. Without the music, I know the music has a vibe, I just don't want to get claimed, but even see, like, I can clearly see you're skilled. I'm not exactly sure what's keeping me now. The toilet paper is kind of... What are you trying to do again? Level 1, level 25, level 50. What's the goal? Now, I don't even understand what you're trying to do. Hold on. I'm not sure why, but my last 3 uploads have been really below average. When I check search, it's sending the video to random people. Yeah, that typically happens for a long time until you've established an audience. Even though I have a couple videos at 30K. Can you take a look at this video, also the other one, and see if there's anything I'm doing wrong? Pacing, music. I know this works. Something feels off. I can't pinpoint it. I guess first I wonder what the... Oh, is everybody else understanding what the wall behind him... Oh, wait, did nobody see that actually happen? Yeah, this thing fell. That's what scared me so much. It was this... Oh. It was Levi's play button. That's what scared me. he said the wall behind him, and so I assumed that that's what you were talking about. Yeah, Levi's play button. It got its revenge. Okay, so anyway. They really cheat down on the play buttons. Yeah, so, I mean, anybody that's wondering, you can see on the back of it, I've attached some, like, Velcro, because sometimes I would try to, like, to make it look cooler, even though it's broken, I would try to hang it on the inside, just like that, to make it feel cooler, I guess. But if you're curious, that's what the inside looks like. Those white strips, I think, are adhesive. Whoops. These I didn't add. They're just, like, sticky. And then the back is felt, and inside is just, like, it's like hollow aluminum. The only thing that's, like, real tough are the edges. They're solid. But they're not so solid that a baseball bat can't put a dent in them, so. Some people were curious about that. Okie doke. Can I somehow send money to get one short reviewed without joining the community? Nope. I'm not doing one-offs. What we will do is a public live stream once a month. So there's no guarantee to get reviewed, but yeah. If I'm gonna judge one, okay, if you want to book coaching, that's fine, but it's $1,000 compared to just a $47 thing. It's really not about the money, it's about the overhead. Making sure that we're not, I guess that's about money, but making sure we don't go bankrupt. Okay, so anyway, back to this one. I like I said earlier, I wasn't sure what this was. So, are you trying to get like a certain amount of kicks or something? I guess I don't understand the stakes of it. Okay, that right there. What did you do? What did you complete? Why is it green? How, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm sure if you show me a similar channel or whatever, I can understand what's happening. It feels like it's missing a text hook or something like that. So I don't really know what the stakes are. You said check out the other one, but I'm not sure what you want me to check out. Level 1, level 25, level 50. It's the same thing except you blurred them instead, right? Yeah, so I don't really know what the point is. I also don't know what are you doing? What story are you telling, dude? I don't know what the point of any of this is. I'm like, you need some clarity in what the goals are here. You're saying soccer ball or football or play button. Okay, why? What? I don't get it. I mean, you said that you have somebody that I could look at. You said you were like kind of not copying, but you were modeling your stuff off of somebody else. And so if I just, does anybody remember who that was? Pretty girl equals views. The person that said he was really inspired by. Anybody? It's a very popular streamer, and so, or not streamer, but creator. When is the stream? To be honest, I haven't scheduled one, but probably in like 2 weeks or so. But if you join the community, like the free Discord, there's a lot of people in there that will help. There's a guy in there named Oxy. He helps a lot of people if he's on. I can't guarantee that he'll help, but yeah, there's a lot of free help in there. I used to help a lot, but now I get so busy and I can only give my attention to so many people, and so yeah. Okay, I guess nobody knew who that channel was. Then you don't remember the name? Yeah, I don't either. I guess we could go back and watch the replay of it. I don't necessarily. Maybe it was Moe's. All right.
On the way back.
For it. So, yeah, I think it was this one. Oh wait, hold on. I cop body cam. Nope, maybe it wasn't. Oh yeah, it was. Okay. We're doing some detective work. That was it, right? Yeah. I remember people saying the name. Nope, this wasn't it. This wasn't the one. Okay, whatever. I can't remember. Sorry. Okay, you're here. What's the one that you said that you were... And I have 4 channels. Okay, that's fine. What's the one that you said you were inspired by? It was a woman. There it is. Celine Department. Bum, bum, bum. I just want to see what her formats are, because I don't understand what your goals are in some of them. Like, you're kicking a bunch of stuff, but, like, is there a certain amount you can kick? Like, this one is pretty clear, right? It's about how high they can kick. Who can score? That's easy to understand. But yours are like, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, there's this one, you might have missed it, but you're holding a football, and then you're holding a play button, and then she decides, and it's like, this or this. For what? For what purpose? What the fuck are you, what are you trying to do? I don't understand. Like, you walked away with it. Like, were you guys going to kick it into a goal or what? You're just, there's not a lot of clarity on what you're trying to deliver here. And with this one, I'm like, are you supposed to kick it a certain amount of times or what? Like, I see them turn green, but I don't know what that means. And so, yeah, I just wanted to see what hers were to make sure that she's here. Let's see this. Okay, so it's pretty clear this is whoever's side it shuts on, right? We can see the door coming down, and so who wins? I guess that's pretty clear. I'm assuming all of her formats are easy to understand visually. So who can kick as high? Who can kick higher? Oh yeah, it's in the title. And so are yours in the title? Maybe? No, it's not. 1 to 100 challenge. Okay, so that's my biggest complaint is I don't understand what you're doing. So that's it, man. You said oh, that's not you. 1 second. I'm not sure why last 3 uploads have been below average. Well, the last 3 I didn't understand what they were. So that's kind of my thing. A couple of them are at 30K views. I'm gonna assume that there's a little bit more clarity in those than these. I don't understand. As far as the editing and everything, it's solid. I just need to know the point of your videos. You could put that in the title to maybe make it help. But yeah, I would need to see some other format where this is working. Okay, the next person is Close the Book. Close the Book. I have to download yours. I hope you're here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Close the book. Okay, looks like we've got actual, like, filmed stuff here.
I did not.
I'm gonna lower the volume just a tiny bit.
Not want to design my grandma's obituary, so I had to ask her.
Oh, okay, there we go, yeah.
I mean, really, she was the matriarch of 10 children and 46 grandchildren, not to mention a heap of great-grands and great-great-grands, nieces, nephews. You get the point. There's no way I can design an obituary no one complains about. Even though there were nothing but great reviews of the ones I previously designed for family members, I was thoroughly convinced It was just too much pressure. Grandma, what do I do? What could possibly please our whole family? Just a few days away from her celebration of life, she answered with graduate. Graduate? Graduation? Huh? Graduated fold. Yes, Grandma, that's just uncommon and fancy enough to impress the masses. Did it impress? Well, I've only heard variations of
Danae, you have outdone yourself on Grandmama's obituary. This is amazing.
So, did it impress? I'd say sure did.
Okay. Okay. So, let me read what you said first before I start reviewing. You said, still editing the video so the time lapse fits with the audio and doesn't have delays. What tweaks does the script need? Should I add because at the end to make it a loop? I wouldn't worry about making it a loop. The one thing that I find difficult in the story is I don't know what a graduation fold is. I think that's what you said. And so you're going to have to be more clear about what that means visually. And if you write the word graduation fold and like point at it and show something like a example, that's just, you got to clear it up for the viewer. I love the story. I love the storytelling. All I could say is there are going to be lines in there that if you remove, does it remove from the story? Does it take away or not? I don't want to go through all of them, but I will say there is probably...
I did not want to design...
You're probably going to need some sort of subtitles as well. And I say that because, for one, people like that type of engagement, and you don't have to do anything fancy. It can just be like real simple. And then the other thing is there's a different person that speaks. And so it would be nice to label them, label their voice. So I'm going to show you what kind of subtitles I would do, and I'm going to go ahead and transcribe it now so you can see how simple I mean by this. I love that you did a story. This is very good. And like, I didn't know what to expect because I know that you were aiming that direction, but there's something here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little disclaimer. I don't necessarily know if this is for the shorts feed or not, because it's something that people need to be primed for. They need to want to pay attention and like get really involved and invested in a story. And your story is meaningful and there's impact to it, which typically means it's not for the shorts feed. So if there's like a very simple story or a simple lesson you learned, or you're teaching a simple trick or task or tutorial or something like that, that's kind of where it fits in the shorts feed. Whereas this almost feels like a long form video. But yeah, don't let me get in the way there. I'm gonna go ahead and do the captions. We'll keep it simple, and then we'll do, I don't know, 25, 1.5. Oh crap, I did 2 lines. Try it again. Single line, 25, 2. Okay, and so here's what I would do with the subtitles. I'd put them right here, and you could make them a little bigger if you want. You could just leave them like that, and then I would just check to make sure that they're still visible here, and they are, and you can see them, and that way they're not in the way of your design, but people that want to read still can. Something super simple like that would be totally fine. And then when you go to the other person,
Graduated fold. Enough. Impressed? Well, I've only heard variations of
Danae.
of course it's gonna make your name misspelled, but I'm just gonna write name because I don't want to spell something wrong. Like Kalia, I kept calling her Kalia and I can't remember. kept saying all different types of things. I don't know if I would do purple because you don't want it to blend in. Some sort of like yellow for the other person, and then you could name them like sister, whatever their actual name is, if it's your sister.
Danae, you have outdone yourself on Grandmama's obituary. This is amazing.
So?
And then this you would change to white again because that's what your voiceover is. And so I would just separate the color for any dialogue, and that way people kind of understand it's a different voice, and that's it. I like it. I think the only points I would really focus on, like from a coach perspective, is what value are you delivering to your audience, and are they primed for that value in the format that you're delivering it to them? Shorts viewers are not patient. They want the quick thing, they want it fast, or they're gonna swipe. And so will this as a short get a whole lot of attention? I don't necessarily think so as a short. As a long form, I think people could get more invested, but this is like, you could tell a story if you could tell it in 30 seconds. People are willing to be a part of a story about 30 seconds. A minute could be okay, but I'm just saying, I think that this is going to be a tough sell for a lot of shorts audiences. Now, that said, that's only basing off the goal of I'm just trying to get shorts viewers' attention. If you are micro-niched, if you're trying to get business instead, if you're trying to connect to customers and that sort of thing, the view count doesn't even matter. The people that are looking for this sort of thing will find it. And so there you are, delivering it in your most authentic possible way. I think it's really, really good. So I would get this one to the point where you want it and get it out and start working on the next one. I think it's very, very good. And going from what you started with, I can't even see how you did it, but this is so good. Okay, that's all I really got for this one, okay? And then the last one is Kadow. Kaplow.
His fat fingers wouldn't be.
Okay, here we go. You said, I just want to say I'm pretty sure idea is getting super old and repetitive, but I want to hear your thoughts on the editing. Yeah, it's repetitive. It's the same shit to me, but let's see.
What if the toy animatronics in FNAF 2 were fat? If Toy Bonnie was fat, his fat fingers wouldn't be able to play the guitar, and it would sound terrible, leading to the toy gang beating him up. If Toy Freddy was fat, yeah, I can't lie, he's already pretty fat. If Toy Chica was fat, she would be too heavy in the vents, leading to her breaking them and falling. What if the toy animatronics in FNAF...
It seemed like it ended at the wrong spot.
Leading to her breaking them and falling. What if the toy...
Maybe it was on purpose. I don't know. Sometimes I see shorts that end when they're not supposed to, and maybe that's what you're doing here. As far as you just asked about the editing, and it's fine. I don't feel forced to look in multiple different places. I can read everything. I can see everything clearly. So not being your target audience whatsoever, it was not hard to watch. So that's kind of the best you're going to get from somebody that's like, I don't really care about this. But that's kind of how I've always been. Like, consider that I'm not tearing it apart. I'm not pointing anything out. That's a good thing, right? Because before, you've sent me stuff that I'm like, holy shit, this is awful. I never said that, but you know what I mean. And this is good. Editing-wise, this is fine. The pacing seems fine. It's solid. Man, what a change from the previous creator to this. It's just... Oh, YouTube is a tapestry.
If the toy animatronics in FNAF 2 were fat. If Toy Bonnie was...
Okay, yeah, that's all I really gotta say, man. I didn't have anything really mentally prepared for that one, but it's fairly simple. Yeah, that's all I got. So, do we have any questions before I get out of here? I got some scripts to work on, but we could answer some questions for anybody that has them. Not only VIPs, but anybody. It's kind of weird. I don't have my little questions button. There we go. Bum bum. Questions, and I'll read from my book. The focusing effect. We place too much emphasis on one aspect of an event or decision, ignoring the rest. For example, a person may choose a job based on how much they'll make and not even consider things like distance or work-life balance. When shopping for a new car, a buyer might focus on appearance or that $2,000 that was knocked off the asking price instead of focusing on the mileage, how good it is on gas, or even if it's bulletproof. The focusing effect. Most of these have like the psychology behind them and why they work and how to use it to be a better creator. I love diving into the research. A lot of this stuff was psychologists, like the availability heuristic. We judge the likelihood of events based on how easily examples come to mind, like airplane crashes, shark attacks, serial killings are all like really bad ways to die, but they don't happen all that often. They're just really easy to remember, especially when they're on the news every time they happen. If heart disease was like dramatic and sudden, then we'd be focused on that too. But it's not. It's so common that we don't see any news about it. So after you notice a lot of creators blow up overnight, smaller creators might assume that it happens more often than it actually does, especially when the algorithm is prioritizing what's popular. In reality, for every one creator that blows up, hundreds of thousands remain small. Anyway, what's the most important question every YouTube creator should ask before hitting publish? Super chat did not work for me tonight. Before hitting publish, I think the question should be who wants to watch this. That's like always my thought is, what am I offering? Why would somebody watch this? That's the question. Right? Why is somebody watching this? Are you giving value? Are you entertaining them? And if that question is answered, then it's totally okay to publish. But it's really difficult to answer because you're so biased. Finding the value deep down, like, why would a Shorts viewer watch this is a much harder question to answer because there's no patience there. So why would they watch it? Well, the hook is strong enough to keep them through the whole thing, or, you know, they really, really need to know this. I don't know. That's kind of what I always ask myself. Or actually, would I watch this is usually my question. Like, would I watch this whole thing? Can you give a high-level breakdown of restricted mode and whether it's a peek into the fabled shadow ban of YouTube? No. Everything about restricted mode I kind of already said. So no, there's no high level when I don't have access to that in my brain. But a shadow ban itself, there are limitations that YouTube puts on certain channels that when it happens, they get 0 impressions. And then they're like, oh shit, what did I have? The dreaded 0 view jail that you hear. Yeah, that happens, right? And so then the only views that they get, it kind of camouflages it because they come from their subscribers and the people that watch them often. So if you're asking this because you're worried that you could be shadow banned or whatever, just go and look in your Shorts statistics and see if all of your views are coming from subscribers or not. If they are, then there might be a little bit of an issue. But you won't know until you upload 3 or more shorts back to back. And when that happens, then you can finally know, okay, something is up. If you don't get impressions, like unique or new viewer impressions at all after 3 uploads, then there is a problem. And I don't know what to do to solve that besides, I don't know, try to talk to support or start a new channel. 0 impressions, 0 flatline shorts feeds. Yeah. That's when you know something's fucked up. If it happens over and over. Occasionally it will happen, then you'll upload a video and that video will do just fine. And you're like, well, what the hell? And if that happens, then you can go ahead and delete the one and re-upload it. All right. That's the only time I'll give permission. After 48 hours, if you've gotten 0 impressions whatsoever, something fucked up with that one. And that doesn't come from me. That comes from Rene Ritchie. He's the one that said that. The YouTube liaison. Is it worth looking into Shorts analytics? I made an objectively better edited video, yet retention was worse. If if you have more views, the analytics are always going to be worse. If I have 1 million views on a video, the CTR is always under 3%. And so a lot of people, that's just one tiny variable of why the analytics are so misleading. I don't personally think that they're super helpful to look at outside of it got this many views or it didn't get this many views. And so then I figure out why it didn't get that many views by showing it to somebody else or really diving into, like where did I drop off, right? Sometimes you'll be able to see that in the retention curve, like you'll see a dramatic fall, and that's the only time that I ever really use it outside. Like I can look in mine real quick. We can see, let's just look at this video right here if the analytics are there. And so like I'll look at something like this, but a shorts version, and I see, okay, people dropped off here and then they dropped off here. Man, these aren't very bad spikes because there's not a whole lot of views. Let me go to one that has a lot of views and we'll see. I mean, that's usually pretty interesting to people. Okay, retention. All right, so this was a dramatic drop, right? Terrible, terrible retention. And yet it got 202,000 views. So how does that make you feel about analytics? Does it make you trust them? Does it make you feel like, wow, they probably shouldn't have as much control over my emotions as they do? Because that is the case. So then I'll see like, okay, we got a drop here, starts to flatline here. So when I see this, I think something interesting is happening to keep people. So I look for that, and that is the exact insight that I point out. When I made the AI version of it crash, 3, people seem to really like that, which is why I put that one as the very first example. And so you'll understand that a lot more if you go and you watch my second to newest video. What is it? No, the Omega Script one. If you watch this one, you'll see exactly how I scripted this entire video. You'll see exactly how I got 200,000 views because I wrote it all and I planned it all. But I'll be looking at things like that, and I'll be looking at significant drops like right here. Looks like there's a tiny little spike down, or right here, and I'll see what I said there, and then I just won't say that shit anymore. And so that's really all I do. And it works with shorts too. What is this one? Whatever I said right here made people drop. So what is it? What did I say?
Or even something like, go to this link if you want to blow up as fast as my clients did.
Okay, they left because I did a call to action, and that's it. And I should have just called it right there. I should have just cut it off, but I didn't.
Finally, engagement bait. Like this thumb that went up my nose that got me thousands.
People didn't care enough to stick around for engagement bait because I tried to send them somewhere, and so they left. And so people always ask, should I do call to actions in my shorts? Should you? Like, if you're going to, do it right at the end. But yeah, that's why I always say just don't bother. Anyway. One sec. I saw Alex Hermosi saying repost content after a while. Is that a good idea? I need to understand the context of why he said that, but just in the way that you put it, no, it's not a good idea. If he is talking about taking existing content like from your long forms and clipping it out, it's okay. If you're taking shorts from one place and putting it on TikTok or whatever, that's okay. If you take a short and do nothing to it but re-upload it to YouTube, that is not okay. And if Alex Hermosi said that, I'll tell him he's wrong to his face. No, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, I probably would, but it's not like it would matter because there's no way he would say that because he already knows. Yeah, you don't. There's a lot in that could be loaded. I just don't know the exact context that he said it in. Reposting your content after a while works on Instagram. It works on TikTok, as far as I know. Don't do it unless you're significantly changing it on YouTube, because this is how you get duplicate content, and that's just not what you want, because that's bad for your channel. Okay, traveling with Russell. What do you think about unchecking the publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers? Would it help and push your video to new viewers? I only ever do that if I am putting something out that I want to stay unlisted, or if I'm putting something out that doesn't appeal to my current subscribers. So if I was to pivot, I would uncheck that and then let it push to whatever viewers it wants. I don't necessarily think it's going to push to more people. It's not like YouTube has a box with the amount of people in it, and if you leave it on, some of those people are going to be subscribers. It doesn't work that way. It's just going to do the exact same thing. It's just your subscribers won't get a bell. So it's not going to give you more new people if you untick that. He basically said, take one of your best videos from like months ago and then repost it for the new audience because they haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't know, but don't do that. Now, I've heard the ad thing. Him and Gary Vee both say it, where you take your top performing video and use that as an ad. That's totally fine, but I would not repost the same thing on YouTube that you already have on the channel. Keep in mind, these guys, they have tons of channels, like tons of clip channels, whatever, and also one of the hundreds of Alex Hormozi clip channels, if they make a mistake like that, it doesn't mean shit, because they have so much extra stuff going on that if they did make a mistake like that, then it wouldn't even be a problem, right? Now, if you do it and you only depend on the one channel and it's like, hey, you got dinged for re-uploaded content or whatever, or duplicate content, that's going to be a much bigger problem for you. Yeah, so I would just not do it. If you want to do something like that, like if it didn't get as many views back in the day, then you can private it and then maybe add subtitles onto it or something like that, and then re-upload it and see if it performs better. But you have to make a significant change in it, otherwise you'll get duplicate uploads. I think my Hey John Scott stuff, I ended up deleting 3 videos off and re-uploading with subtitles on it, and those all hit millions of views. But I made sure that they weren't on the channel anymore when I did that. Yep, that's, yeah, it's, to be honest, I hear Hormozi say a lot of stuff, and I've never really disagreed with him on much. So I would need to know the full context to know whether it is what it is. But, yeah, okay, I guess that's it. I am gonna get out of here. And yeah, for those that aren't VIP, go to realcreator.community if you want to do this, and we'll chat on Saturday face to face if you want. Ask me whatever questions you need on Saturday, but Wednesday we have a long form review just like this. So just create original content. Yeah, there we go. On that note, I will end the stream now. I just wanted to show you how I would draw it, Grumpmeister. Sorry, I forgot. There's a lot of once we had to move off Discord today, that kind of threw a wrench in my entire plan. This is music. This is music. Okay, so you've got a thumbnail here. And the idea that I had, you said that the bench thing didn't work. Can I take your thumbnail and put it on here so we can take a look at it? Your new one? The fake out. Yeah, a lot of people left. They're like, all right, he's done. And yet, here I am. This is music. This is music. Okay. So here is yours. And I'm fine with the hour thing. We've already kind of discussed that. But the bench thing that I was talking about was sort of like this. I'm going to lock that in because I'm fine with it being where it is. You've got the roller coaster. 1 second. I gotta put the smoothing on. Give you a solid jawline. Like Johnny Bravo. And a giant widow's peak. Like me, if you guys could see my widow's peak, but you can't. Okay. So the roller coaster thing okay, here's what I was thinking bench wise, and really you're just gonna end up with this. Right. That's the bench. And so the only way that you would know it was a bench is, whoa, 1 second. You'd see the top of the wood, but this would be a wooden texture. It's actually two. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so this is the bench, and that's wood. And then in the back, you have, let me think. You got this trash can here, and then a guy throwing up in it. Bleh. And then, I don't know, maybe something going on out here. Something is on fire. I don't know. And then over here, you have a roller coaster like that. And yeah, you having the up close roller coaster was the moment I'm like, no, I got to draw this out for him. Because I meant something more weighted like this, where you actually have the peak of the roller coaster, or you could even have a loop if you wanted. I don't know exactly how. It would just have to be something like that, but I would probably just do a peak. It's less distracting. So peak, and then whee, something like that, and then that leaves enough for the hour, and so that's what I meant by this. So it looks like Mountain Dew or some shit. But yeah, you've got your half and half now, and there's enough room for everything, and that's sort of what I meant. This guy, he's throwing up over here. You've got a roller coaster over here, but it's further pulled away. You have more, like, think about all of the Mr. Beast style thumbnails. Mr. Beast wouldn't have a roller coaster up so close if it was in the background, if it was behind him. The only way you're really able to achieve this is with Photoshop, right? This isn't quite a photograph. And so you want to make it feel more like a photograph, and so that's what I would do. I hope that helps a little bit more. Check Discord right quick for the bench. Okay, let's see. This is the bench. No, I don't like that. I think that's too much. I would just, like, AI generate a bench. Like, I would probably give AI this image or something similar, and then I would say, okay, now, like this, where you see the brown. 1 sec. I'd say where you see the brown is actually supposed to be what looks like wooden planks behind me, because it's a bench. It looks terrible, but you get the idea. And so I would tell it that. And so hold on, we can do like a darker brown here. Whoops. Yeah, I would do something like that. I'd be able to draw this much better if I had time, but I just wanted to give you the idea so you could run with it. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. And then, of course, like below is like a lighter brown, because it's like that's the way the light works. And then the top here, I don't know how. Maybe it's lighter on top and then darker right behind you. But whatever sets off some solid, like if you have a blue shirt on a brown background, I think it'll pop off really well here. I would just experiment with it. The back rest of a bench. Yeah, you don't want a full bench. This is just the top. Yeah, so like you would see, damn it. I hate to do this, like, it's so difficult for me to do live, but you would see like the grain and stuff in the wood, you know what I mean? Something along those lines. Like that. What the hell's happening? Okay, anyway. Yeah, so these are wood grains, and then I hope you get the idea. Because, like, I can't really explain it anymore. I'm sure you understand. And so, yeah. When I first... Okay, when I first explained it, I was like, it's from chest up, and you're sitting on a bench, and then the bench is the thing that breaks it from the background. And the background is, like, guy on the left puking, and on the right, you can see a roller coaster in the distance, and this just leaves enough room at the top for the hours. Cool. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Well, then in that case, Bart Simpson, I am out of here. All right. Bye.
So let me get this straight. Am I the